Oops, I started off the recording without turning on my microphone. That does not work too well. This week we're going to be talking about a slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. Being able to write something in slope-intercept form, being able to graph something that's in slope-intercept form, are two important concepts that you should understand. And obviously, I knew you should have had it in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So let's talk a little bit about graphing and writing equations. So if I wanted to sketch the graph of a linear function, usually we just look at it, and if it's in slope-intercept form, then we can figure out what the slope is and the y-intercept without doing much work at all because it's right there. So in this problem here, the slope is going to be 2 and the y-intercept is going to be 1. So if I'm going to graph this thing, I always put a point at the y-intercept. So this is the y-axis. So I go down to 1, put a point there. And then my slope is 2, so I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And I just draw a line through my points. And that is the graph of the equation y is equal to 2x plus 1. Now, if I had something like y is equal to 2, this is going to be a horizontal line through 2. So this is y is equal to 2. Now, if I had something like x equals 2, that is a vertical line. So I would draw a line this direction for an x equals. That is going to be a vertical line at 2. And then sometimes we have equations that aren't written in slope-intercept form, but it's one of the great skills about math is that you can rewrite things. So if I was going to graph this, the first thing I would do is I'd rewrite it as y is equal to negative x plus 2. So now my slope is negative 1. My y-intercept is 2. So if I graph it, I'd put a point at 2. And then my slope is down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And that would be my graph of y is equal to negative x plus 2. Slope is the change in y over the change in x. So if I'm trying to find the slope, let's say they gave me 2 points. Let's say they gave me the points 2, 3, and 5, 7, and I wanted to find the slope. I would use this formula. This is my x1 term, my y1 term, x2, y2. And I would just subtract 7 minus 3 over 5 minus 2, and I'd end up with 4 over 3. That is finding the slope between two given points. Point slope form of a line is another form of writing an equation of a line. Most people don't use this form unless you're in calculus. Then we always use this form. So this form, if they give you a point, let's say they gave me the point 5, 1, and then they said the slope of the line was equal to 3. Then a point slope form is so much easier. It's just y minus y1 is equal, and then x minus x. So this would be my equation. Now, sometimes you're asked to take point slope form and rewrite it in slope-intercept form, which is fairly easy to do. You just multiply the variable, or you use distributive property to get rid of this. So you end up with y minus 1 is equal to 3x minus 15. Add 1 to both sides, and lo and behold, y is equal to 3x minus 14 is my equation. But now, instead of point slope form, it's in slope-intercept form. So you should be able to rewrite equations in any form that you want them in. Okay. So now let's go to the practice problems for this week. I've got to go to share an application screen. Okay. So now the first problem on the practice for this week, we just have what is the slope and y-intercept of the graph? Well, the y-intercept is pretty easy. So the y-intercept here is equal to negative 2. And the slope, to find the slope, if they give you an equation, you just go rise over run. So I go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. So my slope is going to be 3. So slope is 3, y-intercept is negative 2. I'm going to go with letter A for my answer. All right, problem number 2 on this week's practice. It says find the slope of the line. Well, I'm going to find it 2 different ways. I know it's going to be negative because it's going down, so it's definitely negative. And then if I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd say my slope is negative 6/4 or negative 3/2. Now, let's use 2 points and find the slope. So they gave me the point 2, negative 3, and the point negative 2, positive 3. So if I use the slope formula, it's a change in y, so 3 minus negative 3 over the change in x. So negative 2 minus 2. So if I change that, I end up with 6 on top, end up with negative 4 on bottom. Oh my goodness, it looks exactly the same as here. So negative 3/2. So it doesn't matter if you use rise over run or if you use the 2 points and use the point or the slope formula, you should get the exact same answer regardless of how you do it. All right. Find the slope and the y-intercept of the graph of the linear equation. Well, it's in slope-intercept form, so this is asking me too easy of a question. Negative 7 is my slope, 2 is my y-intercept. So I'm going to see for my answer. Probably seems a little easy this week, and it is not that bad. Slope of the line is, well, it's going down, so I know it's going to be negative. Write in point-slope form for an equation of a line that passes through the given point and has a given slope. Okay, so point-slope form again is y minus y1 is equal to slope x minus x1. So if I'm going to write this, it's going to be y minus 8, because that's my y value, is equal to slope, which is 3/4, and then x minus my x value, which is 4. Done. That's it. Y minus, so it looks like letter C, if I'm looking at it correctly. The linear equation written in the form y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1 is point-slope form. Letter E. A linear equation written in the form y is equal to mx plus b is in slope-intercept form. Mr. Shanklin, you're making this way too easy. Find the slope of the line through the given points. Okay, now I'm going to use slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is going to be 10 minus 7 over negative 1 minus negative 7. So that's 3 on top and 0 on bottom. Oof, that's undefined. There's no slope there. It's undefined. So that means if I graph these 2 points out, negative 7, 7, about here. Wait, makes sense. Let's see here. Negative 7, 7 would be there. Negative 1, 10 would be here. There should be slope there. What am I doing wrong here? 10 minus 7. Okay, so gives me. Oh, use the wrong numbers here. That'll do it. Negative 1 minus negative 7. Boy, that'll do it. You don't use the right numbers. I'm going to change that. So negative 1 plus 7, so that's 6. So it looks like 1/2 as my slope. All right, I'm going A, not D. Boy, yeah, I can't even read my own handwriting. Sorry about that, guys. All right, next problem. It says graph the line given the slope and passes through the given point. So it has a slope of 2, so I know that this one, because that's negative, and we know that they already said it's positive 2 slope. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is find negative 1, 4. So negative 1, that doesn't cross at negative 1, 4. That doesn't cross at negative 1, 4. Negative 1, 4. Oh, it looks like it's on the line. This one has to be the correct answer for that problem. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line through the given point perpendicular to the given line. Oh, okay, so I need it to be perpendicular to this line. So they gave me a point, and there's only two things I need in order to write an equation of a line. I need a point, and I need the slope. Well, the slope, they're going to make me work because they said perpendicular to this. Well, slope of perpendicular lines are opposite reciprocal slopes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the slope of this line. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 45y is equal to 9x plus 9. I just brought the 9x over here. Then I'm going to subtract or divide through by negative 45. I don't have to divide this by negative 45. I mean, I do if I had to figure out the sign, but I only need the slope. This is a slope. So 9 over negative 45, I can reduce that down to 1 over 5. Okay. And then the slope of the perpendicular line is going to be opposite sine reciprocal. So that means I have to flip this over. So it's going to be 5. So if I'm going to write my equation, it's going to be y plus 8 is equal to 5x plus 7. Well, that's not the form they have it in, so I'm going to have to rewrite this. So y plus 8 is equal to 5x plus 35. Subtract off 8 from both sides. So y is equal to 5x. Is that 27 plus 27 for my answer? So letter C. All right, next problem. That was all the practice problems that we had for this week. All right, you guys have a great week. Hope to see anybody next week. You guys have a good week. Bye.